The Cleburne threshold, brilliance, betrayal, and the cost of quiet honor. There are some men whose brilliance shines so clearly that both friend and foe pause to watch them move. Patrick Raynon Cleburne was one of those men. He did not rise through political favor or family name. He rose through clarity, discipline, and an iron calm under fire that turned men into believers and divisions into blades. He was known as the Stonewall of the West, a man whose troops never broke, who stood when entire lines collapsed, and who advanced with such precision that Union generals remembered the shock of it long after the battle had ended. And yet he died at Franklin, in the mud, in a doomed assault, sword drawn, hatless, visible, brave, and unheard, because Cleburne, for all his genius, for all his honor, for all his fire-forged discipline, made one fatal mistake. He stayed silent when he should have spoken, the fire in his mind. Patrick Cleburne was not a man of bluster. He spoke rarely, and when he did, it was measured, calculated. His mind worked like a scalpel, not a hammer. Where others charged blindly into glory, he read the terrain, mapped possibilities, and acted with chilling precision. He trained his division, lean, obedient, unshakable. Their discipline became legend. Friend and foe alike soon learned to watch for the blue flag with the white crescent. That marked where Cleburne was in the fight. Where his division attacked, no one ever withstood. Where his division defended, no one ever broke through, save once. And there lies the grave of Cleburne and his heroic division. General William J. Hardee. That flag became more than a banner. It was a warning. But beneath that brilliance, something deeper stirred, a sense that the war he was fighting could not be won by force alone. In 1864, Cleburne did the unthinkable. Something no other Confederate general dared. He stood before his peers and proposed a way forward. Every man should be for the cause of the South, and slavery is not that cause. If we do not do something soon to counterbalance the numerical superiority of the enemy, we are doomed. He urged them to free and arm enslaved men, to make liberty not just a slogan, but a strategy. He knew it was the only path forward, and the numbers bear out. In 1860, there were 3.5 million enslaved people in the Confederacy. Roughly half were male, about 1.75 million. And of those estimated, 700,000 were able-bodied men from the ages of 17 to 45, prime military age. Even if a fraction of them had been emancipated and enlisted, the Confederacy would have doubled its remaining manpower. But more than that, it could have reshaped the moral battlefield. By offering freedom in exchange for service, the South could have challenged the Union's claim to moral superiority. The North, which had increasingly positioned itself as the liberator of the enslaved, would have faced a propaganda and psychological blow. The war narrative would have shifted. Some of the North may have questioned what they were still fighting for. Others might have lost resolve entirely. Cleburne understood that the wars were not only won by bullets but by belief, and in one stroke that proposal could have altered both. But the Confederacy was not ready for the truth. The paper was buried, the idea condemned. Cleburne wasn't reprimanded, but he was watched and passed over for promotion again and again. The silence that killed him. Cleburne's greatest flaw wasn't in how he fought, it was in how he trusted. He believed that honor would protect him, that logic would prevail, that those around him would see what he saw. Cleburne didn't believe in self-promotion. He believed in duty. He thought that his example, his success, would win in the end. But he did not build alliances in high places. He did not flatter. He did not play the game. And when the moment came at Franklin, he had no shield. He was sent to lead an assault that any third-grade schoolboy with an inclination for battle would have condemned. A frontal assault against fortified Union lines across open fields under full artillery fire. A bloody slaughter. Cleburne should have refused. He had the stature, he had the respect, but he obeyed because obedience felt like duty, and it killed him. Just before the charge, he turned to General Daniel Govan. Govan, seeing the fate ahead, said, "General, this is a desperate thing we're about to do. Doesn't look like many of us are going to make it back to old Arkansas." Cleburne replied, "Well, Govan, if we're to die, let us die like men." And they did. The threshold. Cleburne did not die because he lacked courage. He died because he trusted too long in a broken system, because he believed that honor meant silence and duty meant obedience. Even when his mind knew better, he died because he did not say no, not in the moment that mattered. And this is the Cleburne threshold. It's the line every man and woman will face. The moment when truth must outweigh comfort, when honor must evolve from quiet loyalty into defiant clarity. Because there are times when continuing to obey are no longer noble, and there are orders that must be challenged. There are moments when the warrior fighting needs you to speak, or you will die with your truth buried beside you. We'll honor Patrick Cleburne, not only in reverence but with action. Let us honor him by refusing to walk quietly into our own destruction, by speaking when silence feels safe, by recognizing that even the purest soul, if mute in the moment of consequence, can be sacrificed by the very cause he has tried to save. And I'll say this, if I had been a private in that army, I hope to God I would have had the courage to march to that headquarters, remove my cap, and ask permission to speak frankly. And I would have said, General Cleburne, you are a man of weight. Your words have weight. Do not let this madness take you. Tell Hood that hell itself cannot make you march your men into that melee to be slaughtered like cattle. Say no, not from cowardice but from clarity. Say it, sir. You've earned the right to speak truth. Now use it. It may not have changed the outcome, but I wish someone would have said it. Cleburne's flag fell at Franklin, but his warning still flies. By J. Miller.